Hey Taurus, Dark Dove Tarot here. Hope you're doing fantastic. This is your June 2021 love read. So again, this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for June 2021. So any likes, subscribes, comments are greatly appreciated. If you want a private read, the information is in the description below. So keep that in mind. Like I said, you can order a private read pertaining to your situation. Otherwise, this is a general love read for Taurus for June 2021. I'm also offering the extended reads in the link below as well, so you can get a little more clarity on this read if it resonates with you. Hopefully it resonates with the majority of you. But again, you want to check your sun, moon, and rising signs. Some months those may resonate with you more than others or add a little more clarity to your story. So let's get started here and see what is going on for Taurus for June coming up. Ooh, you've got the Muse of Emotions coming out here. All right, a few more cards and we'll get started. Also, if you'd hit the bell icon and subscribe, that's great. It definitely supports the channel. Also, a lot of you know that there's been an issue with notifications because a lot of you let me know, and YouTube is working on it. However, they're moving a little slow, and that's okay. But in the meantime, if you want to turn the notifications off and then turn them back on, make sure all notifications are selected. That will ensure that you get my content if you're interested. Okay, so let's pull your oracle card and we will get started here for June 2021 for Taurus. All right, let's see what's going on for Taurus. Let's pull your oracle card and get moving. Tiny triumphs. So taking, you know, the little wins, making sure that you embrace, you know, everything, even the smallest of blessings. Sometimes we forget to embrace those tiny blessings, or we forget to embrace something that may seem small, but it could be powerful. It could just impact our mood or our energy, or you know, somebody says something just random to you and it just makes your day. This is an attitude. It's a belief. It's power of perseverance. So this talks about, you know, how you feel about a situation, how you address the situation, and how you allow a situation. It's you know, how do you react to a situation? And it kind of makes me smile, right? Because it makes me think of, you know, you appreciating little moments and enjoying things, adjusting, if you will, to, you know, sometimes we have shit days, but that's okay because we're going to have great days and good things coming our way. All right, so let's get started here. Your current position coming into the month is the Knight of Materials. So you have the Knight of Pentacles here. The Knight of Pentacles is a cautious energy, okay? This is saying, like, you need to move forward. It can also be a little uptight. So it may be that you're holding off on a situation. Maybe you're dealing with a past person and you're just kind of like, nah, I'm not sure if this is going to work for me. I'm not sure if this is what I want. But again, the Knight of Pentacles or Knight of Materials talks about not necessarily not talking to this person or not corresponding with this person, but definitely being on guard. So there's somebody in your presence, or somebody who wants in your presence, or somebody who wants in your energy, who is potentially keeping you guarded, especially with the Knight of Pentacles, because this is saying, for some of you, you're a little too guarded. It's kind of like, okay, this person, you know, they just want to say hi and you're going, oh my gosh, is this going to be bad? Is it going to be good? Is it going to lead to a fight? So the Knight of Pentacles says it's okay to let your guard down, but it's good to be cautious as well. Or it's good to, you know, not to jump right in emotionally, or to jump right in you know, with both feet. You're being protective of yourself, and that's a good thing here. So, you know, good thing to be protective, but don't be overly protective. Allow the good things in. The little wins I talked about. You know, the Knight of Materials is productive, and it's hard work paying off. And a lot of times it is focused on work or focused on money. So some of you may just be, that's all I have time for. Now you have the Eight of Emotions coming in, which is the Eight of Cups. And this is how you're feeling coming into the month. The Eight of Cups is slow moving, stagnation. It's feeling dissatisfied, but not dissatisfied in like, oh, I'm not happy with life. More of a disappointment that things haven't gone in a different direction, or disappointment that you thought you would be further along with this. So either getting over somebody or moving forward with somebody, family. You know, the Eight of Emotions talks about possibly walking away, healing, you know, old wounds, and then bettering your path. So having the Eight of Emotions comes out again, somebody from your past that you've moved on from, but it feels as though you're kind of like, I'm not moving on fast enough, or maybe you're moving on and not moving on, if that makes sense. So Taurus, for a lot of you, your intention is to move forward, but you may not be moving forward as quickly as you think, or you may not be moving forward. Your intention again is there, but you know, then you wake up and go, I wonder what he or she are doing. Or you just can't get them out of your head, or something comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, that was our favorite song. And you get my point. All right. Now, the next card you have is your distant past, or the past 5-10 years. Could be throughout your childhood. And you have the Seven of Swords. So you are being protected for a reason. There's a reason this Knight of Materials is out, because the Seven of Voices talks about manipulation. I mean, here's the sly fox, right, in the picture. And this talks about somebody who doesn't have good intentions, or didn't have good intentions, or fooled you, or tricked you. So the Seven of Voices talks about this is coming up from your past, because it's strongly coming across that there is somebody coming back from your past, whether this was a past person that was recent, whether this was a past person that, you know, doesn't have to be the most immediate past person. I feel like you may have a few energies coming forward, but this talks about somebody in particular that you just need to kind of watch your back with, because the Seven of Swords, or Seven of Voices, talks about that manipulation or that strategy, and now they're coming forward again, and immediately you're on guard. You're saying, wait a minute, no, you know, I've been trying to get over this. I thought I was done with this situation, and the Eight of Emotions is saying, you know, I'm trying to get through this and it's just not moving the way I thought it would, or I thought this would be easier, or I thought we'd be, you know, past this by now. And then you have the Awakening, okay? Now the Awakening talks about making sure that you're taking the time out to, you know, forgive yourself and forgive other people. This is a sense of peace. It's the same card as the Judgment card in the fact, well, it is the same card as the Judgment card. They just call it the Awakening. It's lightening your load. So there is somebody here, Taurus, that you are desperately trying to get rid of, or not. Rid is kind of harsh, because I don't feel like it's get out of here, you, but for some of you, it may be. And it's just not happening. And there's a lot of things combined here, okay? Because there's the Judgment part, which is the peace, needing to forgive them, needing to forgive yourself. And I always say this, because every time I see the Judgment card, there's always somebody who's like, there's nothing that I need to be forgiving myself for. There's nothing that they need to forgive me for. Or I didn't do anything wrong. But you know, we're always, and I say it every time, you know, I've had shit relationships before, and yet I know that I have been a person in those relationships when things get hard or dramatic that I don't feel good about how I behaved. So those are the types of things that this card talks about when it says forgiving yourself, forgiving others, finding that peace. Peace is a big, this is a big standout this month for you guys, Taurus, because there's a lot saying you're moving in that direction, and yet there's like roadblocks coming in, or there's things, some sort of balance. We'll get to this in a minute. Some sort of balance you're needing to find to kind of, you know, like gain mental stability again and not worry about kind of the crud that you've had to deal with before. Now, your distant future over the next few months is the Hermit card. So this is Virgo's card. You could be dealing with Virgo or have Virgo placements in your chart, but this talks about really going in your headspace. The Hermit is going within and figuring out spiritually, you know, where you're at. Figuring out, this is kind of closing everything off, just quiet, listening to your own thoughts, figuring out what it is you want. So somewhere here coming up in the near future, you're going to be, you know, just kind of closing everything out. And whether it's this past person that you just like, they're not leaving you alone, or you can't get them out of your head, you're going to get to a space where you can clear it out and mentally just like block everything. Maybe it's just for a couple days. Maybe it's just for a weekend. Maybe it's just, you know, take a bath and like let it all just kind of, you know, melt away. But the Hermit card talks about needing that separation from this person, and then possibly separate. Like you just need, it feels like you need to separate from, you know, maybe take a day off and, you know, venture out and clear your mind, your thoughts. It's like there's cobwebs backed up and you need to clean house mentally. Now you have the Two of Wands coming in, or the Two of Inspirations. This is you know, over the next month throughout June. And this talks about, what do you want, Taurus? Where are you going? This isn't about somebody else. Your life shouldn't be determined by, well, what if they come back? What if they don't come back? You know, and I'm not saying that your life is determined by that, but the two of Wands is saying, okay, get moving now, Taurus. Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself? And that's, you know, this is depicted on, or this is depicted by nobody else but you. So for whatever reason, it's almost like you're waiting for a sign, or you want to know that something's for sure over, or, and like, don't just go, make a move here. The Two of Wands saying, what's your path? Where are you going? What's your life choice? Where do you feel yourself heading? What direction do you want to go? Because you have some exciting energies coming up, and you have some exciting things heading your way. Don't miss out on those because you're stuck in a rut, because you need to clear these cobwebs out. Now, you have the Muse of Emotions, which I love. So the Muse is in this deck, which I love this deck, by the way. It's gorgeous. It's the Muse Tarot, by the way. This is the King. The Muse stands for the King. This means that you're going to be at the top of your game with this sign, right? Or with this element. So the Muse of Emotions is the King of Cups. And this talks about some sort of communication, but not emotional communication. So this is standing your ground. If this is somebody from the past, this is you saying, look, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but here's how I feel about it. This is keeping emotions out of it. The King of Cups is somebody who says, I need to make some decisions here, and really make some decisions. Do you want to move forward with this person, Taurus, or do you not? It's very interesting because I'm getting this very heavy push to move forward, and then I'm getting pulled back into the same scenario, or getting pulled back into the same thoughts and the same things that you cover day in and day out, or that you go through over and over and over. But the King of Cups is very promising, because this talks about, you know, practicing emotional control and showing compassion and opening your heart, but not letting your feelings get in the way, like not allowing anybody or anything to get in the mix of a healthy, emotional, balanced mental state. And so really, that's when I talk about those cobwebs, and I've said that a few times, you know, clearing them out. It really is, you know, get down and dirty here, Taurus, and clean it out. And again, I know it's easier said than done. You may be like, well, fuck, I wake up and, you know, the song comes on the radio, or I think I see their car, or, you know, I smell their perfume, or whatever it is. And this is saying, okay, clear it out, but really focus on it. Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm over them, or I'm not going to, I don't think, I'm blah, blah. But really, you know, I know that I practice certain things. If there's something I can't get off my mind, I'm worried about something, I'll come up with a word that's silly, like, you know, I don't know, like bacon or ketchup or something. And the minute I start thinking about the thing I don't want to think about, or what's bothering me, or what I don't need to spend any more emotional time on, I'll just think in my head, bacon, and it like clears my thought. And guess what? It works. Or, you know, I'm thinking about this person and I don't want to think about this person anymore. And I, you know, oh, ketchup. And I just move on from that thought. And then you start doing it to where you don't have to do that. And you really are able to clean that out. But there's some sort of mental practice or that needs to come in here, because it's like you're ready for destiny to come in. You're ready to see where you're going. You're ready for your life path to show you, you know, you're ready for that path to be lit up and ready for you to start, you know, taking your journey down it. But there's things stopping that up. There's things that are, you know, there's a wall that's blocking it right now. You have the Two of Materials coming in as how you're feeling throughout the month. And the Two of Materials is the Two of Pentacles, which is balance. It's priorities. It's changes. This is really where you're at, Taurus. You need to balance. You need to figure out what it is that you want and go for it. And no more excuses. Like they're telling me very strongly. And some of you may be, you know, hey, but I don't sugarcoat things. And they're saying, you know, you've had time to think this through. You've had time. You know what direction you need to go in. You know what direction is good for you and healthy for you. It's not always the easiest one. It's not always the one you wish you would have gotten, but it's definitely bringing you to a better possibility for you. Now, you have the Seven of Wands here, which is your hopes or fears. And this is what I was talking about. The Seven of Wands is that wall. This is you with a defense. Now, it also talks about priorities similar to the Two of Materials, but the Seven of Inspiration talks about, you know, you have this wall built up and now you need to break it down. Or what do you need? The Seven of Wands is this you know, strategizing and your priorities and getting them in check. And it really does feel as though you're kind of waiting for some sort of news, or you want to know for sure something's done. Like you've dotted all your I's and crossed your T's, because if this is done, it's really done. Like you're not looking back away from it. The Seven of Wands is saying you're not veering away from confrontation. Okay. Now you need to stand up what you believe in and be thorough in what you're doing. But you know, if you have a question from somebody in the past, like let's say they're coming towards you and they're like, hey Taurus, I miss you, I love you, whatever, ask the question you want to ask. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Don't be afraid to make sense of a situation, so you can either move past it or you can move forward with it. And then you end here with the Muse of Inspiration, which I love. The Muse of Inspiration is the King of Wands, okay? So the King of Wands is where you end, Taurus. And I think this is your outcome. And I think this is beautiful, because the King of Wands talks about just a moral high ground, and being the King of Wands is somebody that people are attracted to, and there's a magnetism here. And this is saying, look, you're on your journey here to find your best self and to meet somebody who brings that out in you, whether it's, you know, getting back together with the past or not. You have some clearing to do. You have some purging to do, but this is, you know, your goals and where you want to move forward. And this is, you know, leading yourself to the water, leading yourself to water to drink. You know, what is that old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's similar to this. Like you already know what water you want to drink. Now you just need to lead yourself there. Don't try and do everything yourself. Don't try and figure it all out today. But it also talks about communication as well. So whoever you're communicating or whoever you're going to communicate with, make up your mind, make a decision, and then go from there. Because like I said, you have the Two of Wands and the Two of Materials talking about that balance, talking about where you're going. Don't worry about what everybody else wants you to do. Don't worry about what you think somebody else wants you to do, or what if I do this and I don't end up... No. Do what you need to do. Twos may be significant for some reason, they're saying, for you. Okay, let's pull an oracle card, and then I'm going to do an extended read and dive a little deeper into what else is going on. Maybe is the past sticking around, or is the past taking off and you're moving forward? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the perfect ending for this read. Relieve anxiety. Yes, exactly. This is the Hermit card that's coming in here. Relieve the tension, relieve the anxiety. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter if you make the best decision right now or the worst decision right now. The thing that matters is that you make a decision. Nothing is final. Nothing is absolutely final. So make a decision. Hey, I'm going to move on right now. I don't think it's going to work out with me in the past. I'm feeling this manipulation, and so therefore I'm going forward. And if you're meant to be, you'll come back together again at some point. If you don't want to move forward and you're missing this person and you want to know, are we going to make something happen? Ask the questions. At least put it out there, get your answer, and whether you like it or not, deal with it and make decisions and choices, you know, that are good for you. Again, don't wait on, you know, if you message somebody and you say, hey, you know, are we getting back together? What's the deal? And you don't hear anything back, or they're ghosting you and it's completely silent. Move on. Move on with whatever it is you want to do. Don't give this person your power. Just don't do it. Okay, Taurus. The extended is below if you are interested. Bye.